welcome to Medical Dialogues. I am Dr. Nandita Mohan, and you all know that we have interviewed reputed editors-in-chiefs of various journals, but today I have an interesting session planned out for you. I am pleasured to introduce an esteemed editor-in-chief of the Journal of Clinical Imaging Sciences, Dr. Vikram Dogra, who is among the top radiologists and scientists in the United States of America. He is currently the Professor of Radiology, Urology and Biomedical Engineering at the University of Rochester, New York, and he is an educationist, a teacher and a researcher in the field of radiology. The journal is published by Scientific Scholar. We welcome you to Medical Dialogue, sir. We are happy to have you on board with us.
Thank you.
So, dear Dr. Dogra, you have been a practicing radiologist in the United States and taught many radiologists from India and various other countries. What actually led you to venture into research and clinical publishing?
Well, that's a very interesting question and very difficult to answer. However, the simple answer to that is that once you accomplish academia, you want to take it to the next step. And the next step after academia success is to test what you have learned by translating that into basic research. And that's what led me to the research. And as you know that I run Dogra Lab, and because of my various interests, we have patented photoacoustic imaging, which is a new way of imaging for cancer. And I am very proud to announce that we hold worldwide patent on photoacoustic imaging. India, China, Europe, and whole of North America. So it is the translation of your experience over a period of time that you want to test. And then at the same time, you are able to initiate the teaching programs, sharing your knowledge with the various students. Like, for example, many people come and do fellowships with me. They are paid by the governments. They come from Sri Lanka, Turkey, Israel, China. They spend 1 year either in the lab or doing the clinical research with me. I not only run the Journal of Clinical Imaging Science, but I have been consultant, started ultrasound clinics for Elsevier Science. I have been guest editor of Radiology Clinics of North America 5 times. I am on the board of many other journals. I have 17 books in radiology of my own. So people have a lot to learn and come and spend time with me. So that is how the whole thing has happened. I hope I have answered your question in brief. It wasn't my intention to tout my horn, but it happened so I had to share the truth.
Great. So how did the Journal of Clinical Imaging Sciences actually was born, and what has been its journey so far?
Well, that's a very interesting question, and I'm going to give you a very, very honest answer. Since I live in Rochester, New York, and you know we are a very blessed country with so much of medical knowledge available to everybody without much effort. But since I travel the world, I realized that most countries do not have that access with that great ease. However, these countries are also doing great work, but they are not able to publish or bring their work to the world, and they don't have a platform. So keeping that thought in mind, I started Journal of Clinical Imaging Science in 2011, promoting the research out of North America, providing them a platform to come and showcase their knowledge. I have succeeded partly in that, and I have failed partly in that. The reason I say that is because today 47% of the manuscripts which we publish come from North America, and the rest come from the rest of the world. Of course, India is the second contributor, and Turkey is the third, and China is the fourth. But I wanted people to come from Africa, which is a little less privileged, and Latin America. We are working to promote our journal in those areas and want them to use our platform to publish their work. However, journal is very, very successful. As you know that we have 2 million downloads on average per year and is read in 211 countries. And our acceptance rate is only about 25 to 27%. And at the same time, I want to take the opportunity to the wonderful editorial board and our section editors and the reviewers across the globe. We have about 2,400 reviewers who does the review, peer review for our manuscripts. I am very thankful to them and of course to the readers to have made this journal so successful.
Excellent. Sir, actually, why did you choose Scientific Scholar as the publisher of the Journal of Clinical Imaging Sciences?
There are so many publishers in the world today, and you have many choices to choose from. But the single attraction I had to choose Scientific Scholar is because of the way their system is built. The system is very intuitive and the learning curve is very short. What do I mean by that? I mean they have drag and drop functionality, which is very useful. It saves me a lot of time. And the most important thing is, how do you find a peer reviewer? They have a built-in system where you can search the databases in the world, including the PubMed, and it will find people with their emails. So it's very easy to find people on the same subject with their emails and download to the database and invite them. So we send our papers for peer review across the world. We do not limit it to North America or India or China. Wherever we find somebody who has done a good work on that subject, we invite them. And most people oblige us. So they are the two main reasons. And of course the management team is excellent. They deliver, they put their mouth where the money is, and as you know, the culture of the US is very simple, that we want work to be delivered. We do not want a lip service, we want work, and they deliver better service for the money we pay them.
So, dear Dr. Dogra, to close the session, please, if you can share with the listeners your views and guidance actually for young and upcoming radiologists regarding their approach towards clinically best practices as well as scientific research.
Well, first of all, let me congratulate all the people in India that there is a good initiative and all the young radiologists are getting involved in research through various mechanisms, including Indian Radiology Society is also giving some grants. There are some other voluntary organizations giving them some grants to participate. So there is a good initiative. But the best way for somebody to rise in academia or to showcase what they are doing is by publishing. Now, I have to admit that we do not see much of scientific literature coming out of India. Of course, in dermatology, I find there is a lot of work coming from India in international journals, and even some of the Indian journals have a very big name, like the Indian Journal of Dermatology and Venereology. But to publish, the main thing which people have to learn is how to write a paper. The paper has to be written as you conduct a research. So there has to be emphasis in the teaching how to do research and then how should they write a paper. And English is not our mother tongue in this country, but English is the language in which most prestigious journals are published. So they need to write the language which is acceptable. The commonest cause of rejection in our Journal of Clinical Imaging Science is the language. Your science may be good, but if your language is not good and you don't follow the author guidelines, paper gets rejected. So if you want to publish, you need to do methodical scientific research and follow the author guidelines and use either somebody who speaks good English or use a service who can help you correct your English and submit the paper as if it is written by an English speaker, because that is your first impression. And if the editor does not like your language, the paper gets rejected. So I would request humbly to all the people, please, please, please pay attention to the language and scientific content and be honest about it. And if you work hard, sincerity shows through.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time. It was pleasure having you here with us. Thank you once again.
Thank you. It was my pleasure to participate and help your cause, which I think is a great cause, and wish you all the best.
That's all for today. Stay tuned to Medical Dialogues for latest updates.
Never miss a medical update from Medical Dialogues. Like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.